Hi, hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a few amazing days with friends and family. I hope you have a lot of fun. It's time for another update video, another episode of Thrones News. Ewan Mitchell, who plays Aemond Targaryen, gave an interview, which he never does usually, and George R. R. Martin gave a mini update about Winds of Winter slash A Dream of Spring. He talked about Casterly Rock and he had a lot of interesting things to say as well. Before we talk about that, however, just as a little heads up, Josh and I sat down with Lyonel Strong actor Gavin Spokes. We had such a great time. We talked about House of the Dragon Season 1 and Paddy Considine, who's a huge inspiration for Gavin. It was also awesome to see how much fun Gavin had with all of your fan questions, so definitely check that out afterwards. So, as I mentioned, Ewan Mitchell gave an interview, which he never does. He really never is online. He's not much of a outgoing person. He even admits in this interview that he did with Face that he pretty much stays in character on set as well. So I was very intrigued by this interview, and here are some of my personal highlights. It's tradition in Targaryen culture to place a dragon egg in the cradle of a newborn, which establishes a bond between the rider and the mount. There's this dynamic that as the person grows, so does the hatchling. For whatever reason, Aemond was denied that. He was always on the back foot. He's able to identify with this dragon Vhagar, the oldest, grumpiest, biggest dragon. She's named after the old Valyrian god of war, and she's a hardened survivor of over 100 battles. She's enormous, but also the loneliest. She's so big she can't fit within the confines of any castle wall, like Aemond. He doesn't fit in anywhere, and so he identifies with her. That story of standing in the face of adversity, showing courage and resilience, that really inspired me as an actor. Not only does he find his voice, but he also makes a friend. A character like Aemond never really felt that unconditional love from his family, but he's found it in this dragon. What does that do? It changes him. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. There really seems to be a big understanding of the character, of the world, of some of the Targaryen history. And I just love stuff like this. I love it when the actor is really passionate about the role they're playing. I mean, of course, we had a lot of discussions about Vhagar and Aemond and how it was all a misunderstanding. But at the end of the day, I think they're setting up a bigger dragon plot. And that makes a lot of sense if you think about the dragon seeds that are coming into play in Season 2. I think that the bond between Dragon Rider and Dragon is really gonna be a main central focus of House of the Dragon. Ewan then talked about Season 2. So much of the season sees this family's world balanced on a knife's edge. All it's going to take is a push from either side to draw blood. I guess Aemond is the guy who kickstarts the domino effect that'll lead to the Dance of the Dragons. If Season 1 was about seeing Aemond getting warmed up, Season 2 is all out war. No surprises there. We're likely heading for the Battle of the Gullet, which is gonna be just insane thinking about it. It's just, that is gonna be the one big battle, that one sea battle that we didn't get in Game of Thrones. No Euron Greyjoy summoning Krakens, but it's gonna be just as good, I think. Another interesting bit comes towards the end of the interview when he is asked what's next for him, to which he replies that he's gonna shoot, that House of the Dragon is gonna shoot for 8 months next year. And we previously knew that House of the Dragon is gonna start shooting in March, so that means they're either finishing in October or they're shooting all throughout October. That of course also means that we're not gonna see House of the Dragon in 2023. That's not a big surprise at all, I think, but it does give us an idea as to when it could drop, and I think they're heading for an April release, just like in the good old days when Game of Thrones was airing. I think April 2024 is realistic, but maybe it's even later than that. Anyways, I talked about George R. R. Martin in the beginning, about a new blog post that he made. He went into a lot of detail about Casterly Rock. Lannisport is not in the image, you will note. If this were a photograph rather than a painting, one could say that the picture was likely taken from the docks and or city walls of Lannisport. Here's the most important part. See that little watchtower on the Naismith painting up on top of the rock? That's the only thing on top of the rock. And that's as it should be. The Lannister castle is not on top of the rock. It is inside of the rock. All of it. Barracks, armories, bedchambers, grand halls, servants' quarters, dungeons, sept, everything. That's what makes the Rock the strongest and most impregnable seat in all of Westeros. The Eyrie, Winterfell, Storm's End, they all have formidable defenses, but none of them can match Casterly Rock. What does this all mean? Maybe nothing. I just wanted to set the record straight, give you all something to think about, and maybe put an end to all these pictures of a little rock with a castle on top. A picture with a little castle on top of a rock, I wonder what that means. I wonder what picture he means. Jokes aside, I don't know if this is a dig at the laughable Casterly Rock that we got in Season 7 of Game of Thrones. I don't think so. But nevertheless, it's very interesting, the timing of this one. Maybe just talk to Ryan Condal about how to adapt Casterly Rock for Season 2 of House of the Dragon. I don't know. Regardless though, I really like updates like this. Definitely prefer them over the NFL stuff that he usually posts. I hope House of the Dragon acts like Game of Thrones never showed Casterly Rock, because in that case, they can really go all out on this and just show us the full scale of that rock, of that castle within the rock. It's gonna be interesting what we're gonna hear in the next couple of months with filming locations and stuff like this. Usually that always gives us a little idea about what is going to be happening. Let's see what we're gonna hear in the next couple of months. I'll definitely keep you updated. Anyways, to close out this video, George also talked about Casterly Rock in Winds of Winter or A Dream of Spring. Casterly Rock will not remain forever off stage, I hope. I have 2 more novels to go, and my plan is to have 1 or more of my viewpoint characters visit the rock in the Winds of Winter or A Dream of Spring, so I can show you all the wonders and terrors and treasures of House Lannister firsthand. Meanwhile, feel free to ponder, could Casterly Rock stand against dragons? That to me is very interesting. He doesn't even know if it's in the Winds of Winter, but he claims that Winds of Winter is about 75% done. We have to keep in mind that he doesn't write in chronological order, but he did write a few Cersei chapters in the last couple of months. I always believed that Cersei would flee King's Landing when young Griff arrives, and that she's gonna go to Casterly Rock and potentially meet up with Jaime there. But I don't know if that's gonna happen in Winds of Winter with this update. We might still get that in A Dream of Spring, and I think that's the more likely scenario now. Could Casterly Rock stand against dragons? I don't know. You don't even know if it's gonna be in A Song of Ice and Fire. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Just a little short update video. Definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I hope you guys continue to have an amazing remainder of 2022. We're definitely gonna be very busy next year as well. I plan on doing a ranking video, a similar one to the one I already did in the beginning of the year, when I was talking about shows that I anticipated for this year. I've now watched all of them. I've watched Rings of Power also, so I can rank them again and do a few mini reviews. That's gonna be the next video. Until then, take care and see you later.